in exchange for the damage that he had taken earlier on in the game. But the Terran's ability to come back is pretty strong. They have pretty strong units in comparison to the Zerg, in that they're able to if they're able to get a bunch of siege tanks and hold themselves up somewhere, it'll be pretty hard to break it with proper micro. And let's see what's going on over here. Mutos is coming in for another attack. I wasn't able to do that much damage, honestly. And right now the game's kind of boring. Not much is going on. Probably should take, I'm taking another expansion right over here in the middle of the map. I feel a little bit more comfortable now to take it, since I have a pretty obvious lead. Getting my upgrades right now too. Yeah, it's always a good thing to make sure that you're spending those resources, people. Swinging my Mutalisk back around to the other side of the base. I see that he has a command center over here. I don't know if I've seen it earlier. And I see that he has an engineering bay over here, so I decided that I'm going to try to pick it off over here. But he's sending his units over here. I'm not going to be able to destroy it, but I'm able to bring it to the red. And it's on fire, and if he doesn't go ahead and heal it with an SCV, it's going to burn down eventually. And as I recall, my opponent never does get around to healing it. So my opponent never gets his first upgrade that he's researching, and the engineering bay eventually burns down. I also saw this armory over here, so I was kind of fearing that he might be going, well, not fearing, but I was feeling that he might go doors, so I'm building additional roaches. Roaches are always a good addition to your army versus Terran, unless I guess they're going mass banshees or something like that. They're better able to take care of the tanks, and they do fairly well against Marines. They're able to beat them supply for supply until you get to a certain amount where the Terran is able to reach critical mass with their Marines. Basically, that is that the Terran is able to pack more Marines in a small area than you're able to pack roaches. And over here is where I make a mistake. As you can see, I go chasing with my banelings to his Marine army, and they all get taken out by the siege tanks over here. What I should have done is sent in the Marines, I mean not the Marines, the banelings, and run them back away after the Marines ran away until I had finished dealing with the siege tanks over there. Or maybe another thing I could have done was do carpet bombing with the overload drops. But yeah, these tanks are doing pretty good damage to my army. They're actually able to wipe out my army. My army was like basically twice his army size, so this was some poor unit movement and micro on my part. But since my economy is so much better than him, I was able to mass a fairly significant army fairly quickly. And since my opponent does not have the engineering bay because it burned down, as I told you guys it would, he's not able to build a planetary fortress over here, so I'm going to be able to take it down fairly easily. If my opponent had been able to build a planetary fortress, this would have been pretty much a nightmare to take down. And my opponent is doing a good spread with the siege tanks over here, making it a lot more difficult to kill. You're less able to get into the siege tanks dead zone because you're always within the outside the dead zone of some of the siege tanks. So with the denial of that expansion, my opponent gives up, and I was about to go. I was waiting for him to until the game was basically in my hand, but I had to start shit talking back to him. But my opponent left before I was able to do that. So my opponent just got what the fuck pwned, and I guess I'm not gonna even call it a good game. He's like, he was just a bastard, I guess, some kind of 12-year-old noob or something, trying to all-in cheese. Well, that's all I got to say. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Good game, guys.